Okie dokie. So, can go back to the whirling in rags, but I don't really want to do that yet. I think I want to continue to explore a little bit. Put the envelope in the mailbox in the plaza. Yes, I'm still looking for Morel. And just poking around, I think. So let's keep looking for Morel and poking around. I think that whole area has been explored pretty much at this point, so let's poke around this way. Swing by the pawn shop later to get rid of some of this alcohol, because I have no intention of drinking it. You should come back when it snows, a strange feeling. It passes quickly. Looking back at you from the rust-coloured water is you. Okay, I think I'm able to pick up some of these things because I've got my yellow bag, right? The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. A kick drum pulse. The music is coming from somewhere on the ice. A school of fish huddle around the fence post, then scatter into the dark. Before you, a drawbridge. It can only be lowered from the other side. Okay, yeah, so I can't cross over there yet. Or maybe I can in this roundabout way. Oh, hello. A person. It must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Yeah, what are these? Cairns? Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Trash from some unending party. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. Okay. The pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be...
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
Push the Eternite over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on.
The lieutenant gestures towards the young woman next to the tent. Oop. No, come on, Harry. There we go. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. Wow, amazing. Look at these punks. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosifed Ultra. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile.
Really
says,
loving his cowboy boot situation.
as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore!
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Say nothing.
Internally coherent.
Still say nothing. I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Whirling in Rags hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yekokata, the place to be!
Why is this Yekokata the place to be? What does that mean?
Yekokata is a hardcore place!
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths? You think?
Solve the egghead puzzle. Okay. I love Egghead. I can see why. He's a fun character. There has to be some way to talk to this person, you just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about signs. What if you just try again? Find your way out of the maze of things to say.
The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore.
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Okay.
Back to the heavyweight jam.
Says the young man with the tape player and the large Boydera boots. Lung-shaped trees sprout on his silver belt buckle.
Hardcore! Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent. All core! All right!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonized roar over the feeble-ish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. So hardcore!
Is it though?
He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. It is!
What is it? I mean,
He
really?
tilts his head to the other side like an owl.
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what to say.
I was thinking that too.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah!
Okay, I don't know if I've solved the egghead puzzle, but...
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse. Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
He yells. The tape player high above his head continues to blast strange music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline.
Why are
sir.
you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in. Also for talent. Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part. Place is a shithole. I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
You should have authority issues too if you want to be truly punk, my friend. There's no need, the place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on
What
the
are you
coast.
talking about? I think he means that he wants to turn the church into a music venue.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dope heads and burnouts if left unattended. Dopeheads! Burn
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revachol. Strike that! The road! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind?
The spooky kind.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Okay, I mean, you got me. I'm not going to be against investigating a spooky church. I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
Help the ravers start a nightclub. Hi, Austin. Good evening. You're just in time for me to agree to help these lovely gentlemen raving in a tent to turn a church into a nightclub?
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock is a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
It does seem like a worthy endeavor. I think, like, a lot of very cool venues are converted churches or cathedrals. That's like a whole thing. I think in Manchester, like maybe Albert Hall used to be a cathedral, and that's a very cool music venue. There's a climbing centre here in Manchester, one of a few, but one of the climbing centres here is a converted church, which is also super cool. I don't go there because it's like not the closest one to me. It's a bit awkward to get to for me. But I used to go there when I lived closer to it, and it's very cool. I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock, it's a temporary fix. Okay, gotcha.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Okay, cool. What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
Alright.
Reaction speed check. Be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies toward you.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Why am I failing? Why am I failing all of these dice rolls? Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimum effort.
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye hole. In the looking.
Rough.
A stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably from your right brain.
Ouch! Goddamn asshole! What is wrong with you? Can't you see I'm in pain now?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard.
No, I think that was my fault, Noid. I shouldn't have tried to be cool, because I've been having very bad luck with all of these dice rolls, and humiliating myself thoroughly.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw them better.
I'm sorry. Bend your face in mockery of his useless contrition. You almost eye-murdered me. A cop. That's use of lethal force.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
He pulls out some black paper from his belt pack.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
That's the least you could do.
I hope that settles it. Or wait, the key?
He cautiously hands you the yellow keyring.
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
Okay. Well, I feel somewhat bad about taking the money, but if he has 25 real, then I have the feeling that these kids are not living in a tent because they're poor. They're living in a tent because they think it's cool. But I guess that the way that they dress and all of their music equipment probably also gives that away. That, yeah, it is amazing for a climbing gym. It's really cool. If anyone ever visits Manchester in the UK, then I definitely recommend visiting it. It's a very cool experience. But for music venues, and converted church is definitely a great idea because obviously the acoustics are amazing.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
How could you be sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Jeez. Okay. 85% is not... I'm gonna say that's not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being. Why wouldn't you give them some kind of food or some way to receive food? Like, even just like a little passage or a hole in the wall that you could deliver food through.
Okay, I'm
Or
sorry.
more importantly, water.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in.
No, it wasn't very hardcore at Egghead.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands.
Called out. But true, yeah, I'm a cop, therefore I do have the violence monopoly. Other questions?
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
How are you doing, Austin, by the way? How's your evening going? What's the deal with Egghead? I want to talk to him.
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
How do you communicate with him?
Well, he's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
Have you ever really talked to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his centre, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
Good for him. Nice, I actually just got back from climbing. I'm doing okay today. I have a short work week, which is nice, so had work today. I've been feeling pretty tired this week, so it's been a bit of a slog, but I have the next couple of days off, so I have the rest of the week off, and then Monday's a bank holiday, so a little bit of a break. I do have quite a few plans over the weekend, but I'm trying to take it relatively slow. My exciting life update is, my main exciting life update at the moment is that I learned how to drive 10 years ago and I have a driving license, but I haven't driven a car since then, and it's not really something that I could afford or something that I needed, but now it's something that I'm finding I need a bit more, especially just with my health and stuff, and like how difficult and draining I'm finding it to like travel long distance on public transport, and also I can afford to get like a cheapy used car, so I'm looking at doing that at the moment, and I'm starting driving lessons again this week. I told the instructor that I'd just like get a couple of lessons for now because I'm just incredibly nervous about driving a car again, because again I haven't done it in 10 years, and I feel like afraid that I've forgotten everything. I don't think it's safe or a good idea for me to just like get in a car and try to drive it without a professional there to make sure I'm safe. So I've just booked a couple of driving lessons, and I will have my first one this weekend. And yeah, I'm nervous but excited about that. You mentioned some kind of ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these ecclesiastes?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
What do you mean by meteorin?
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Meteo?
Meteo, a country on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
And what is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And
they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the Innocentic system, no?
a lot of words I still don't understand, but that's okay. I'm not sure that they would appreciate a dance club in their church, but I don't think that they're gonna be very happy about that, so I'm gonna say that they sound exactly like the kind of people who would want loud dance music in their church, and maybe you can interpret that as sarcasm.
You're right.
He says, without the slightest hint of irony.
The Pericanassian church is about love. Anodic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We die.
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
Need to get my license in the UK. I hate that I have to redo it considering I've driven so long in the US. Yeah, that's very annoying. I'm sorry that you have to do that. Have you driven in the UK before? I know that... So I lived in Canada for a while and I never drove there, but I feel like it must feel quite different because, I mean, assuming, which I feel comfortable assuming that driving in Canada and the United States is quite similar. The roads are a lot bigger and straighter, and I think that driving in the UK is a bit trickier, maneuver-wise, I think. You're definitely cool enough to pull off dancing in this game. I feel a little bit of pressure with that expectation, but let's go. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, we've got a few options here. Love can be pretty hardcore, that's true. How could the founding party be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the Pericanassian church. Proceed.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
Oh, horrific necktie.
You feel like you can go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it.
Okay, so they actually aren't gonna get me to do some kind of stat check to dance right now, so maybe I'll humiliate myself later instead. US license is good for the first year here, so I drove a bit, but I haven't done it since then. Okay, that's an interesting rule. I wonder why why would it be like good for a year and then stops being good after that? Is it just because they want to rip you into paying a bunch of money to get qualified for a UK license? That would be my assumption, considering that, like, that's pretty much how the government operates, having kind of like gone through the whole process of getting a driving license and also gone through the whole process of becoming a citizen here, and how like difficult and expensive all of that bureaucracy is. I always kind of just get the feeling that they make it difficult and they make it expensive so that they can either put us off it or make a bunch of money off of us. I mean, and then obviously there's the fact that identification helps the state kind of surveil us, but that's by the by, I guess. I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
Yeah, all of the above as well. That's definitely also an option. I see you brought your own water.
Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh.
He doesn't know what to say. I feel that this is feeding into my inkling that these are punks with money.
It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
What's with all the Nosafed?
The what now?
Point at the bottles of nasal spray at the corner. The Nosafed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even
You
breathe.
sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Okay, I think these guys might be getting high off of cold medication. Good, now on to the next thing.
Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Okay, logic check isn't looking like I've got good chances. Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't seen them and you want the police involved?
Well, there's also the machinery.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
That's odd.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Ed.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
For this man, even regular silence is awful enough. But that was something great.
Okay, great. Something funky going on in this spooky church. But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
How can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
I don't see a single thing wrong with that argument because my rhetoric check failed.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology. Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably very likely.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind
Oh
of
no,
cobra.
it's Nosferatu.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Welcome back, Lawlin. How are you doing? Ambush behavior. Crabman.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
The implications of this are too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building.
Okay, moving on.
What? As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah!
Okay, buddy. Let's try talking to Noid, I guess.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
How does it feel to play a police officer? It doesn't feel good, it has to be said. This is not the first game where I've played as a police officer. Like, so relatively recently I played The Wolf Among Us. You're playing as a police officer in that. And Detroit Become Human, one of the characters that you play as is a police officer. Those are kind of like recent games that I've played that have that. And I feel like they both also have this weird dynamic where part of the story is about people in these kind of fantasy or sci-fi worlds experiencing like certain kinds of oppression, with Detroit Become Human obviously as like using 10 million very clumsy, very poorly thought out race metaphors to convey that androids are like an oppressed group. And then in The Wolf Among Us it's like Fabletown has kind of like a like a class system or like a hierarchical system where non-human fables are treated differently from human fables and stuff like that. And you're playing as a police officer, and it's like through investigating the thing you're kind of like learning about these kind of systems of oppression that exist in these fictional worlds. But because of your positionality as the police officer, like, and I mean, this is what it comes down to, right? It's like being a police officer, you have that monopoly on violence. You enact the violence of the state by policing populations and enforcing violent laws which target certain groups in very intentional ways, and which serve to kind of protect corporations and capital at the expense of people. And so often in these games it feels like there's this tension between, when you're playing as this police officer character, behaving like a police officer and like fulfilling the mission and investigating the thing and getting the information that you need, and how that is always diametrically opposed to treating people with care and empathy. Like, those things are definitely like contrasted in Detroit Become Human, because you literally have to like break your programming as Connor, who is an android police officer. So you literally have to like break your own programming and overwrite your own programming, which I guess is like an interesting not to give too much credit to David Cage, because I think that game is kind of terrible, but sometimes there's interesting stuff to say about it. Kind of an interesting metaphor for, I guess, like unlearning propaganda, or like quote unquote deprogramming yourself, and how you've like internalized propaganda and other forms of propaganda. But he has to like break his programming and become a deviant in order to like not harm people. Like, there are various points in the game where it kind of forces you to make that choice. In the Wolf Among Us, I also felt like there were a lot of like really difficult choices, but I guess that like Detroit Become Human does kind of give you more of an option than a lot of other games to kind of refuse to do your job as a police officer and then eventually stop being a police officer. So again, not to give too much credit to David Cage, but at least you have that option. In a lot of these games, I feel like I don't, like, where I have to play as a police officer, I often feel like I don't have much of a choice. I mean, one of the worst examples ever is definitely like LA Noire. I played that when I was researching for the video essay that we have on the Game Assist channel about justice in games, and I played LA Noire because you're like, it's like historical fiction where you're playing as a police officer from like the, I want to say like the 1950s or 60s, I don't really remember which, but LA Noire is like terrible in a lot of ways, and I think it really like it has a narrative about police corruption, but it's very much within the propaganda frame of like a few bad apples, and you constantly have to do like really horrible things in order to be a police officer, and the game offers next to no critical framing for those things. Like, for example, it has that like interrogation mechanic where you literally have to like harass and intimidate people who have experienced like various people, and a couple of those examples are like, I think that there's one where you have to like harass this Jewish man in a way that's like very anti-Semitic, and you have to like harass like Black and Latino men in a way that's very racist. And I think there's even one part early in the game where you're like interrogating a victim of sexual violence who's literally like hospitalized for it, and you basically just have to like harass her to get information out of her. And I'm like, how is anybody playing this game and thinking that like cops are good people when this is what they do? I mean, I guess it's a realistic representation of what cops do, right? But yeah, don't play that game. It's definitely one of those games that I played when I was researching so that you don't have to play it and nobody else has to play it ever. It's so terrible. It's like I think it's a Rockstar game. I want to say it's a Rockstar. I think it might be published by Rockstar, but like developed by another studio. It's bad. Anyway, Disco Elysium, playing a cop in Disco Elysium is quite interesting because, I mean, you've played it before, so I'm sure you've like noticed this as well, and be very curious about your thoughts on it. Like what are your kind of thoughts or opinions about playing as a cop in this game? And anyone else in the chat, if you have opinions about that, I'd be really curious to hear them. Because the game repeatedly like demonstrates an awareness of the fact that cops are like, it consistently like explicitly says that like as a police officer you can't be a revolutionary. There's like a contradiction in terms, because police officers exist to like police the working class and protect the ruling class. And you know, it keeps talking about like the police's monopoly on violence and like all of these people don't trust you and like blah blah blah, and it's quite like open in its writing about those things. So I think, considering that the game's writing seems to have like a very clear political position on like how the police are agents of capitalism and how they, you know, they can't and shouldn't exist in like a communist future, that raises the question to me that I find it very interesting that I'm playing as a police officer. And you know, I'm only like on day 3 at the moment. I think I have quite a bit of this game left. I'm not sure I'm even halfway through, but I'm very curious about that decision. I think it's a really interesting one, and it leaves me, yeah, very curious about where they're going to go with it, I guess. It's definitely the most critical game that I've played where you're playing as a police officer, but it's like very critical and very aware of that in a really interesting way. So yes, sorry, that was a very long answer to your question, but if other people have opinions about their experience of playing this game and playing as a cop, I'd be very curious to hear them. Spoiler free.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
He runs his hand through his hair, which is combed back in mock seriousness, and continues to fiddle with some gears. What does sign mean? They've been saying this quite a bit.
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
He continues to rearrange his tools. Tell me about the machines you saw in the church.
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery. Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked-up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
So what's wrong with the supernatural?
Nothing's wrong with it. You should definitely be researched. You can still do sick shit with it though.
The sickest. That's perhaps why it should be researched.
The supernatural, so you think it's real, that it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Why are you called Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
He picks up some sort of widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Does this mean we need sign matching?
Yes. Further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
Okay, maybe I'll come back later. Okay, well, I have to sync the signs with Noid, help the Ravers start a nightclub, and solve the egghead puzzle. Okay. I have no clue how to do any of those things, but that's okay. Hey Kim, that was an interesting experience. Missed you. I'm just gonna have a poke around before I go and talk to that woman. Ooh. So is this the church? This the abandoned church? It looks like it. That's a tall looking steeple. He's one of the coolest characters. Do you mean Kim? I was joking at the beginning of the stream that, like, on day 2, I think I did the autopsy in the morning and he disappeared for the rest of the day. And for the whole rest of the day, I was like, where's Kim?
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
She must be Estelle, the last of the Speed Freaks posse. It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to.
Her head must indeed be cold. Since recently drastically cutting my hair, I have learned for the first time in my life how much of a difference it makes, like your hair length to how warm your head is. I mean, it makes sense, but it's kind of something that doesn't click for you until you, like, had, like, thick, long hair that was keeping your head warm, and then you cut it all off, and suddenly your head is fucking freezing. You must be... How did he pronounce it? Esele?
That's my name. I take it you have met the others. Did they tell you about the church and the club thing?
They did.
Will you help us?
Yeah, I guess I'll help you.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The voice acting in this is great. It adds so much. Yeah, I love the voice acting in this game. It's really good. I especially like the narrator. There's something about his voice that's very, mesmerizing. Dear child, it's freezing. Where is your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I have a hat on. I should, and I do, point at my hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look man, fuck the hat.
Once again, I have no authority. So I'm not even gonna try that. Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. Oh, well, I didn't mean to make you feel bad. The narrator's voice is weird. Fucking weird and eerie, and it's perfect. It is. I love it. I'd like to know more about your associates.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
Just answer the question, please.
Sorry. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Once again, okay, so I would say this is my average experience of playing as a cop in a game like this, is that I choose the dialogue option, I sound like a cop, the person responds to me in a way that I think is perfectly reasonable to respond to a cop, and I'm like, oh, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. What about you? Tell me something about yourself.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask later about this.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
What am I supposed to do with this?
No idea.
How does this thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like techno.
I don't understand what that means. Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds like a congregating place for homosexuals. I mean, I feel that that's implied as like an insult, but I think that that sounds like a great time. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I don't know what tone he's gonna say it in, but I think it's funny, so I'm gonna say it. Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals.
Yeah, there might be some. I don't think they look down on the homosexual underground there. The Palaceum's not that kind of place. It's cool.
Okay, slay. Oh no, you completely misunderstood me. I might be a homosexual myself. I mean, I, the player, am 100% certified homosexual, but Harry, still up in the air.
Oh, well, good for you.
Now, about that Arno guy you mentioned.
Oh, yeah. I guess even with your modern take on sexuality, you wouldn't be in the Van 18.
My modern take on sexuality. I get down.
I don't know what that
I
means.
grind.
Is that some kind of term for the homosexual underground?
No, I'm pretty sure that heterosexuals use that one too. I'm not sure, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player in a totally trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers like she doesn't know what to say. You're right, time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mic?
Yeah, I record stuff.
No, I mean the Boxer Contact Mic.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside of solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
That's not fair. And an understatement.
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
Thanks for stopping by, Austin. I hope you have a nice evening, and thank you. I am looking forward to having a little break. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crap man, than the others.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. What did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
You were wrong. I do believe you.
Why?
Strange things happen.
Okay then. They certainly do around me.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead. What happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold
What
them.
for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, son.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, your call.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
The lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Give her your hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place. Did you mean the one Andre's got planned? The church?
Yeah, the boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for
The
sure.
boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, inside the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No
Stuff
room.
like what?
Didn't you see it yourself? It's mostly music stuff, like this tape recorder, but bigger.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
This is really not fair, Sel. I'm gonna have some words with those boys, if I have the option to. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning at the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks up the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here. Not in a million years.
What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments, like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like, if it ever comes.
Enough about the church then, I had another question.
Go ahead.
Empathy check. A +1 because I gave her the hat. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is still warm from her touch, and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice feeling miserable. At your age, or any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easier to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It is not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
Her shoulders shake a little. Nothing if you got this. Don't be scared.
Okay, I'll stick to it.
Her teeth rattle. She shakes the device from you and places it in her lap.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
Why am I about to cry, you guys? That was really beautiful.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
That was just really beautiful. Yeah. You said eating me? There's nothing eating me.
Come on, I can tell. But, okay. Be a boyadero about it if you want to.
I guess there is something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
People just keep putting their selfish interests in front of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No one understands that sometimes you've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress?
Honestly, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for slow and steady progress. People would be a bit more reasonable is all. Well, no, it's not that exactly. I mean... Yes, I mean it is, that's part of it. If I'm being honest, I'm just thinking about myself and where I'm coming from right now, and I feel like I picked that because obviously the plight of the working class is getting me down, but I think that the thing that gets me personally down even more than that is how cooked we all are, you know what I mean? Like, we, the working class, are so much... We outnumber them by so much. But so many of us can't see beyond ourselves, and so many of us are just so fucking selfish, you guys, to be completely honest with you. I feel like the thing that really makes me feel despair is that. Because when the ruling classes behave the way they do, the corporations, the colonizers, the right-wing governments, when they behave the way they do, obviously it's fucking horrible, but I expect it from them, you know what I mean? Those are our enemies. We're supposed to have each other's backs, though, and the thing that really gets me down when I'm feeling like in despair about the state of the world is us. It's us. It's the fact that if 1 million of us chose to start thinking about each other and doing things for each other tomorrow, then the world would change in an instant. But not enough of us are doing that. That's the shit that really gets me down. It's the selfishness and it's the cowardice from everyday folks. That's the shit that really gets me down. And that's what I kind of mean by this. So, I don't know. I guess in a way... Well, no. The speed of progress is part of it, so I don't really want to say the first one, you know? I mean, I'm a revolutionary communist, you know? I'm not a reformist, and I think that liberals kind of perpetuate this narrative about, like, the fact that progress, like, has to be slow or whatever for a reason, so that we get complacent and so that we don't do what needs to be done. It's like that Nina Simone song. Mississippi Goddamn. It's like that song. It's too slow. It is too slow. And it doesn't have to be slow. I mean, people are dying every day. That does upset me. You know what I mean? And then everyone's like, progress takes time. And people are dying every fucking day, you know? Getting deep into my feelings about this right now. Wasn't expecting that. Anyway, nothing that I can say as Harry is really reflecting these feelings, but that's probably not it, is it?
No, it sounds like you just got chick issues.
It's, you know, it can be both. Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why do you think that?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy, did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I can both be upset about my failed relationship and also the state of the world. Okay, both of those things can be true at the same time.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
She rubs her side for warmth. I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
What do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
I mean, this kid is pretty smart. I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
It's obvious she's done more than booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is Königstein wank?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
My question is, if Marx in this world is Mazov, do they have Freud in Elysium? And what's his fake name? Thanks for the bullshit psych thing, then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
Okay, I don't agree with that one.
Yes, but it itches really, really bad.
That's it for now.
Okay, bye.
Sergei Food? Is that actually Freud in this world, or are you just making up a Freud name?
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
I'm good. That's funny. Sergei Food is quite funny. Dr. Sergei Food. Well, Dr. Food said that, Dr. Food, he read an ancient Greek play about a guy who had no idea that he'd had sex with his mother. He kind of neglected a lot of the context of Greek theatre and Greek tragedy. He just read this play, really liked it, I guess. And I mean, it's a good play. But then Dr. Food was like, what if I took this play and I said that the thing that happens in this play was actually what this character wanted the whole time? Secretly, that's what he wanted the whole time, even though crucially in the play he rips out his own eyes when he realizes what he's done, which he didn't know that he was doing. And that's like the tragedy of it. is that he tries to escape his fate because he wants so badly not to commit incest, but then because that's the fate that the gods have written for him, he does it, and he's like, I really fucking didn't want to do incest, and I didn't even know that I was doing incest, and I'm so horrified by the fact that I did incest that I'm going to rip out my own eyes. Anyway, Dr. Food, he was like, what if he secretly wanted to commit incest, and what if I said that everyone in the world also secretly wanted to commit incest? And they were like, I think you're onto something, Dr. Food. And that's why we are where we are today. Anyway, empathy is accusing me of being a moderate, so I need to fight back. Dr. Food and his consequences. These actions will have consequences. You must be mistaken. I'm a real radical.
Of course, a radical centrist. In these bright and loud times, where 1,000 frequencies drown one another out, sober thinking is a radical.
How dare you, empathy?
It's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience.
Where is this kingdom of conscience?
It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
How do you bring about those circumstances?
Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
Wow, I can't believe that we're talking about this immediately after I talked about my despair about the slow pace of change. What about all the things that are wrong now?
Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the
This is not very empathetic of you, empathy.
You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What sang-froid?
Is the kingdom of conscience really about doing things, or just about preserving the status quo?
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos?
No.
Then you've never lived through real
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Sometimes, in the face of great disaster, defending the status quo is progress.
That shit pisses me. I know that the game is like writing it to like, you know, mimic a certain voice of like liberals, but that shit pisses me off. I'm feeling triggered right now. It's fascinating because this discourse has been making the rounds recently. In certain parts of social media, like liberals have been being like, oh, if you support a revolution, is because you have no idea how like bloody and violent revolution actually is. And what a thing to fucking say to people. Not only do you not know what people have been through, but especially if you're talking to, say, Palestinians who have every idea in the current day what that is like. But also, what if you're talking to, like, Black American socialists, okay? So you're talking to Palestinian socialists and communists, then it's a ridiculous thing to say because, like, every day they live through immense, you know, violence, and they completely are willing to engage in the sacrifice necessary to bring about, like, revolution and the overthrow of Zionism. But, yes, another example would be Black Americans, right? Because a false narrative about history is that the reason why slavery was abolished was because of the goodwill of a few non-racist white people, but that's absolutely false. There are countless slave uprisings across the United States, but not just there, in other places as well. So like Haiti, for example, where the Haitian Revolution was successful, and not only was slavery ended in Haiti, but also Haiti was the first country to gain independence from France through like mass revolution of enslaved people, right? And you think that in these contexts people didn't know like the sacrifice necessary for their revolution. But how is the violence and the chaos of revolution like worse than the everyday violence of enslavement and occupation and apartheid and genocide and colonialism and capitalism? It's so like you have to be completely dismissing the daily horrific violence of these systems, and the scale of that violence is so beyond our comprehension, and it's so enormous that it completely dwarfs any violence of revolution. And the violence of revolution is not only like necessary in because of the fact that these systems are violent and need to be overthrown with violence, and that's not something that anybody wants to do, but it's necessary to do because of the nature of these systems. But also, it's like, it's just not comparable. And I find it so infuriating to imply that people historically and today living under these kind of circumstances, like under violent circumstances, that, you know, a lot of the liberals who say that kind of shit have no idea what they're talking about, and they've never lived under circumstances like that. And they think that they have the right to kind of like moralize and judge about these kind of things. Like, it's so ignorant and it's so offensive, because the violence of the systems that we live under is so enormous every single day. And the violence of revolution is a necessary sacrifice. People know exactly what they're getting into. They know exactly what it takes. It's so condescending, and it's so insensitive, and it's so infuriating on every level. And it's necessary to bring about a better future and put an end to that kind of violence, instead of living every single day under like an incomprehensible, again, scale of violence under global capitalism and colonialism. It's just, it just makes me so furious. It's so furious. And the status quo is violence. It's violence beyond our comprehension. The scale of it is beyond our comprehension. It's completely dwarfs the violence of revolution. It's just, yeah, that shit pisses me off. And just because, like, these people are not willing to make a sacrifice for the greater good doesn't mean that they should fucking, like, act like they know better than other people. Okay, sorry, I was getting a bit mad there, but what does the kingdom of conscience, what is it actually like?
The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
What does that even mean? Absolutely not. I don't want to be a moralist.
What you want is immaterial. The kingdom of conscience is coming, whether you like it or not. Only very slowly.
Centrism ultra, yeah. It is centrism ultra. Fucking pisses me off.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40.
It was glowing, so I was wondering if there was anything new to do with it, but there isn't. Unfortunately, the only other hat I have is a racist hat, so I shall not be wearing a hat at this time. Okay. Well, this seemed to be everything up here, so I'm going to go back to the drawbridge. Don't think I'm going to go into the church just yet. Just going to have a mosey around. This is a lot of area.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
I can't see anything interesting.
You don't have a reason to.
What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
The boy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes, crumbling. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going near the ocean. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Hello. There he is.
No way out, little guy.
Found him.
Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
We found Morel. Love for Morel in the chat.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police
Not
here?
Gary the crypto-fascist.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle
You
it.
must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Lena sent me. She's been recently really worried about you, and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess I must have crashed into it and then it fell in there. I actually don't know what happened, to be fair, so... I guess you're right, it was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. I did find my motor carriage, yeah, but I guess I don't know if it like crashed into the sign or something. I don't know exactly what happened, except that I somehow crashed it into the sea. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for him.
How big is it?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
What makes it so difficult to find?
good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sorts of specialised techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there?
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What would it be like to grasp and hold on to something you think is next to you, or just behind you, like a trace of vapor you exhaled one spring morning as a child? This is what he's searching for. A spectre.
Lena said there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return, man. You're worrying her.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified site on record. One of only 40th century, and it's hers.
Really? She cited the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Okay, what if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar, or... I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is close to...
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Sure. Lay it on me.
Wise choice.
He douses you with the odd-smelling spray and gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. It dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do.
Okay, this is talking more about the traps. Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to trade through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have proven to be real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Then the Interlindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
I don't. It's a profession just like any other.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No. As I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
Interesting. Something for later. This close call.
What kinds of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough? I think he would definitely have kind of a point with that.
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
Well, he kind of ate with that. That is, he's got a point about, like, scientific research under, like, a capitalist context. Okay, thank you for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
I can talk to him about cryptids later. Okay, well, I'm glad I found him. Get Estelle to talk about her associates after setting up the nightclub. Okay, that's okay. Check the traps for Morel, the cryptozoologist, so he and his friend Gary can get some rest. found him, so that's probably in my, yeah, find morale. That's done. Okay. I think that I might have a quick chat with Gary, and then I might call it a day.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Just racism. Barefaced. Straight up.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the outdoors.
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet. Okay, well, this guy really sucks.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other.
I was thinking that. You said Revocol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
He nods solemnly. Yeah. Well, they called him Gary the crypto-fascist. They were not lying.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
I can see you recognize it. It's in your eyes.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
He is a fascist, so yeah, I'm gonna milk him for some money. Rip out a fine slip for 100 real.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about him, like, throwing his trash at the hostel, but again, I think he's a dick, so that's why I took his money. How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Marchbank.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Chimeans run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
I kind of love that Kim just called him hysterical. I love calling men hysterical. Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like
Okay,
that.
dude, you're sounding pretty fucking suspicious right now.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, yes, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic
The
duty.
lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What's that strange sound? Has he taken some of the armor?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
He shifts uncomfortably in his clothes.
He's not feeling too comfortable in his own skin. Odd, I'd say.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you have a problem with Saolites?
No, no problem at all.
He flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way, but I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can... Anything in my inventory would boost my composure. Okay, green shoes. The green shoes.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slashed.
So there's a lack of magnesium in me?
Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream.
I need to mag it up?
You need to get so magged up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. And the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium.
You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form?
Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that's how it works. Anyway, let's try this white check.
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
This racist dickhead. Okay, composure check. Why is he shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure. Shit.
Is he? He's looking comfortable enough. Maybe it was just beads. Sounded like beads. But what kind of beads might a man like Gary be hiding beneath his clothes?
Are you currently sporting some anal beads?
You wouldn't be able to hear if you were wearing anal beads. Please excuse my colleague's humor. Working this murder case is taking a toll on us both. You don't quite have to answer that yet.
What he means is, working on the case is taking a toll on you, and working with you is taking a toll on him.
Of course, of course.
He forces a grin, no doubt hiding some colossal anal beads up his butt as he does so. Incredible. Okay, once again I've leveled up and am feeling uncertain about where I should spend my points. So I'm going to make that decision another time.